things aren't that important in League of Legends objectives. Like fights, everyone's fighting all the time and scaling and champions and team
Okay,
comp.
so I'm gonna have a bit of a wild take,
That's
right?
right.
So Adacon being so high, 8.8.
Again, but is it high? It's not high. So, you know what I'm saying?
High in comparison.
It's high in comparison, but it's like...
Well, okay, so let's.
Because it's a magnet that fights more than every
Okay,
other
well that's what I think. I think as well. Me and AJ spoke about this, that with Adacon, people are terrible at giving.
Yeah, they must fight.
So the meta is that you have to fight, right? And so if you're behind, so if you think about it, like I'll be honest, if you're getting Adacon, you're obviously winning a fight as well.
Yeah, very rarely do you do a free Adacon and the enemy gives. I mean, never.
Basically never
Basically
happens.
never.
And I don't think that's actually objectively right. I think that's just the culture at the moment in the game. People don't understand the objective enough. I think you definitely can give an Adacon. You absolutely have to.
I love an Adacon point to win, by the way. I've learned to thrive in that. So I actually have a rapid fire in Spotlight Academy. I call it right-click Adacon at 20 minutes. And I see a lot of success with people in Spotlight Academy who literally just right-click the objective at 20 and just opt into the chaos. If you're strong and you can just rock up and navigate that situation better than the enemy team, I love it.
It's interesting with Adacon though. I would say it's an objective where you can dick around. You can say you're behind.
Yeah.
And the enemy do the Adacon, you can easily just tickle them and just be annoying because of its location. So what I often do is instead of giving it, I'll just sit around the edges and just throw abilities and everyone just be annoying and they're taking all that damage from Adacon. And oftentimes you can get it to a flip.
Yeah.
You can really often get, whereas a lot of other objectives like Dragon, you can't do that. You can't just dick around on Dragon. You're just going to get turned on because you're too committed in the river or you're just not close enough to flip it.
Dragon, because of its location, kind of necessitates a front to back. Whereas Adacon, because of its location, it turns into like a fucking death ball.
Yeah.
Like, there's people in the lane near it, there's people in the walls.
Yeah.
And it's just a test of your account master at that time. Like, if you just rock up, it's like cage match with the Adacon. I love it.
I would say what Adacon teaches is what I've been exposing people in that academy is positioning.
Yep.
One of the most important principles when it comes to team fighting, as a mid laner specifically, is you need to understand how to position from the side. Don't just rock up and play front to back. If you're like Lux, for example, you can sit over a wall. Like your team's coming from a different angle.
So many walls in
So many
Adacon as
walls.
well. So many angles.
So what are you saying that they just like showing vision, just go, hey guys, and just hope they hit their
Just
runnings
front
and
to
write their
back.
abilities. Yeah.
Standing in the Adacon.
Again, this is like the whole thing about like creating space and mental track. Like you can learning to position properly in a team fight as a mid laner is one of the most important skills because if you can learn to min-max, you're in an 80 carry jungle coming in from one way, and then you're a mid laner posturing from the other angle because you have so much range and peel, you can just completely change your fight without a time.
Yeah.
That was literally one of the learnings I got from the whole review was like, you could have won the game off this Adacon, if you just sit here instead of there, you win the fight, thanks for putting it. Yep. So yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know what to make of a lot of these stats. This is kind of over my head, but I would say that the first Dragon and Adacon do make sense, right? They're pretty high, makes sense. The Rift Herald, again, anecdotally, probably makes sense, but never seen people use it properly. First tower, I would say also makes sense because what happens is always, like I said, they're going to go mid, they're going to swap. Bot lane outers don't mean shit anyway, for the most part.
I have a narrative against that. I've decided. Because the goal is just so important. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, no, you saw the tier 1 bot.
Bot lane tier 1.
First tower, yeah.
Dude, the Herald, that's all gone by that point. If it's not, it falls like paper in the situation.
No, I'm saying with the plates. If you can get 5 plates in bot and break the first tower, that's a massive happen.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We're not talking about Herald
But
yet.
when does it ever happen? I don't even know. It never happens.
Yeah.
It's more up to the jungler. Yeah, the jungler needs to really put attention there.
So what I actually left a comment saying, what I'd like to see is this sort of data spread out across different ranks. What would these percentages look like at different elo brackets? So I said, I'd imagine first Dragon means maybe less in gold than it does in emerald. Maybe it's all correct or not. So I want to see this stat.
I get angry with stats.
Yeah, me too. I get violent.
Especially when stats don't comport with my reality.
Everything makes sense. If it doesn't, then you'll
Let's
build
just get back
reality.
to quote. I don't like stats when I don't agree with them.
That's what I said. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mailbag time? Yep. Away we go. Jingle, jingle, jingle song. Alrighty then. Our question here comes from 64 pans.
Hands.
Pans.
Okay. Like pots and pans.
Pots and pans. How to deal with contrasting champ preferences. We always love a good champ preference question here on the podcast.
Yep.
Hello, Nathan Curtis and Charlie. I started the League journey around June of last year and have been playing the game ever since. I was struggling to learn even the most basic concepts because I could not fathom how much more complicated League felt when my only experience playing MOBAs was Pokemon Unite. I initially began the game because playing Morgana support. I initially started the game playing Morgana support and slowly switching over to playing Mages mid and then becoming an OTP Ari followed by Mel when she was released just because they reminded me of my main Gardevoir. Is that a Pokemon?
Psychic and plant type.
Why would
How would you know that?
Pokemon
would you
Emerald.
push so
It's
far?
El Clasico. Like the Game
Did you
Boy
play
game.
Pokemon?
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Gardevoir is sick champion.
So
Pokemon. Not champ. Yeah, everything's a champ to me.
also a mate.
Before you move on, Morgana, he said his first champ was Morgana.
Yeah.
The first ever game of League of Legends I played was also Morgana.
Charles, you have to answer this question.
What a strange pick to be picking up. So apparently Gardevoir champion was also amazing in Pokemon Unite. After listening to the BBC podcast from the AZAP interview episode, I managed to completely change my mindset. And ever since then, I've been listening to all the episodes and managed to streamline and love League more. Eventually, I ended up finally settling down into becoming a jungler, playing champs such as Volibear and Neferi. These
Wow.
champs are so good for
Volibear?
beginners.
That's Charlie's favorite.
I was sick of he's gonna ban that word from this podcast. As my main pool, and I've stuck to the role for this entire year just because I love so many things about this jungle role. My question is, in the case of contrasting champ preferences, should I just accept that I should play certain champs because I'm able to play them better? At the same time, should I try to force playing champs that fit certain categories I want to play, but they end up playing rather differently than how I would like to play and fight with those champs? I tend to do well with bruisers and assassins in the jungle, despite how much I do not like to fight. Unless I have to, but I struggle to find and play jungle mages because they play a lot more differently within that role, which makes me not like them or play them more like assassins such as Evelyn and Elise. I can't figure out how to deal with this. So it sounds like they like the idea of mages, but they have success on Volibear and if you're in the jungle role.
Yeah, I mean, the key word in this whole email that stands out to me is the word force. You say, do I force it? So
When you're using that language,
Yeah.
because you might get short-term success, but you're not gonna. A big part of League and the champ mastery journey is when the honeymoon phase is over, getting over that plateau. You need to really love it and enjoy it, and like want to sort of be by that as your identity to
How new is
get
the game?
past that.
Did they have you never?
Yeah, June of last year.
June of last year, so like 18 months to play the game for
Yeah,
basically?
something like that, just over a year.
Yeah, I mean, what do you recommend jungle to start the game with?
In terms of the champions.
Yeah, would you recommend someone with this little experience?
Yeah, Volibear and Neferi.
Not Evelyn or Mage.
No, absolutely. At least,
Definitely
no,
not, right?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, so I mean, what I recommend in Bowling Academy, maybe we've got a version of this in Jungle, is like you've got these champions that are really good at being kind of gateway champions, harder ones later on, right? So you start off with like Volibear, maybe you can transition into a Diana later on. Which is your
No, but Diana's not a mage. It's all
There's not
about
really mage junglers.
There's Brand, Talia.
These are not good champions
No,
to play the
they're
game with the lower ranked champions, or are they? Taking over your
You like
positions.
mages, don't play jungle.
Yeah, that's right.
Why? Wake up.
But he said he doesn't like fighting. That's why he's jungle. So it looks like he's trying to avoid the issue where he really needs to like.
Well then you should play sport. And you play your chances.
Or Pokemon Unite.
Back to Pokemon.
Back to Pokemon, yeah. Back to Gardevoir.
Okay, so the first thing you need to understand, League's a fighting game. Okay, so if you don't like fighting, you need a reality check. Honestly, that is the game.
You only go so far as a jungle without learning how to fight
Like,
properly.
okay, to really analyze that, right? I'm going to put on my psychology cap for a second. If you don't like fighting, it says to me that you're uncomfortable with, you're uncomfortable because you don't know, you're reacting rather than anticipating, right? Fighting does suck when you don't know what is coming. So when you're new to the game, it's very comfortable to sit at a range, push out abilities from a distance, and just throw a musky out there and just do a little bit of damage, right? It's hard to play something like a an assassin or a melee, because you have to get in the thick of it. You have to get in, interact with people. You're going to take damage. You're going to look like an idiot. So you need to learn. Once you learn how champions work, fighting becomes fun.
Yep.
Because again, it's not a
Best part of
reaction.
the game by far.
Best part, yeah, exactly. So even if you don't even initially like fighting, you will learn to appreciate fighting once you develop more mastery and you develop more respect for the game and understand the game for what it is. So I would say here, I would say my intuition is you need to play champions that generate fun. And if your intuition is that you're a mage player, go to a role that plays that's actually my biggest advice. I always say that to people. If you like 80 carries, for example, stop playing 80 carry mid and go to bot lane.
Yeah.
If you like playing Enchantress utility champions, go to support. You know, it's that simple. Just play the role that
Makes the most sense.
That makes the most sense.
I actually threw a Cramble.
Yes.
I threw him back to you because
Yes.
he joined Botland Academy to play Cho'Gath,
Yes.
AP Cho'Gath bot. I'm like, go play top
Go
lane.
play middle top.
Yeah, and he said he didn't want to play top. Fine, next best is mid. Go to that. So he's gone back to mid lane
Yeah.
now. Like,
Exactly right.
Why do people want to brute force these champs in these roles?
because he likes aspects of the role and then he likes aspects of the champ. So he's trying to marry the two, but
And
it kind of
don't do
it
that.
nullifies both. You don't get either benefit.
And it feels shit.
Yes. If the champions fit in roles for a reason.
Yes.
Cho'Gath ADC.
Cho'Gath AD can ask him to. We've got a Quinn support player.
You're an Olaf bot player.
Olaf bot player. He's joined mid. He's
Oh,
mid Olaf now.
And he's popping. He's nearly numbed.
Weird stuff. We saw an account with Olaf Challenger. Remember
Yeah.
that? Or
Yeah.
High GM, I think.
Yeah.
Olaf
IGM
bot lane player.
in the EUS.
Yeah. Crazy
Works.
stuff.
Does work.
That's counter to our point. Don't say that. Don't
Yeah,
say
it's counter to our
the
point.
exception that proves the rule.
Yeah. So you need to just kind of just play the role that it should be. That's
Yeah, for 99.999%
That's
of
what
the
it should be.
population, that's what they should do. You're like, at this early stage of your journey, you're not going to be that 0.0001%.
And also, right, when you're this early on in the game, you're gonna change your opinion on things.
Yes.
So just pick a direction, piss away a year on it, and then you might change. You might go back to something different. That's
The
okay.
amount of things you'll learn in that year, you're going to have way more ammunition to make a more informed decision after the fact as to what you're doing.
I did not play mid lane properly for season 3. I
Yeah.
played top, stumbles, I played everything. And then it took me 3 years to properly figure out I liked it. That was think about that. So that's, you know, obviously, I think that's even on the higher end. Shouldn't take that long, but you should spend more time.
I did. I was pretty quick on my analysis of my strengths and weaknesses. Next question here comes from Rumple Tilts. The title of this email is The Fate of a Split Pusher.
So you always use the word piss on this
Yeah,
podcast.
that's
Such an Aussie term.
I know. I wonder if that's probably quite jarring. To
Yeah, I know. So I apologize for the non-Aussie.
That game was so hard. I don't know what